Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years in prison over sex trafficking offences. The British socialite was convicted in December for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse 4 girls between the years 1994 and 2004. For more reaction now.
Roe v. Wade, I'm going to turn it completely around. And I'm going to weigh that out into the balances and the scales. I don't care how many justices' houses that you march to. I don't care how many you threaten. You.
Hello, everyone. This is Brother Auty Howard with Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries. I just want to thank you for watching those prophetic updates. And, you know, guys, this is not about me. No, it's for the glory of God. And that's who it should be. It's about Him and Him only. But, you know, I want you to understand something. There is so many out there that loves criticizing the prophets of God. And they say, oh, nothing ever happens or nothing ever comes to pass. Now there at one point, you know, when I would watch people put prophetic updates, I sat and thought about it. And I said, you know, Lord, I said, I've thought about doing that before, but, you know, it could look like one's lifting oneself up. He said, no. He said, the people need to see it. First of all, is for my glory. He says, but number two, he says, people have not really and truly seen, you know, with videos and etc., these prophetic words that come to pass. He says there's not enough of that coming forward on these prophetic updates. He says people need to see this. He says because people are getting these impressions from others that, you know, these people are false prophets and etc., etc. I have a multitude, and I literally mean a multitude of prophetic words that have passed, and a lot of deep, detailed things that I never had put up, and like I am doing now. So I'm going to probably start doing this because it is for His glory. And the body of Christ needs to see the prophets are real, and they are a part of the fivefold ministry, and they need to be recognized for God's glory. This is who God is using to speak His words in this hour. As you've seen there, the prophetic words that Roe v. Wade was the first one that I did a video on that the other day. And that prophecy passed within 23 hours. And now, as you can see, the Ghislaine Maxwell, which that actually was Jeffrey Epstein's, I don't know, girl, I don't know what you would call her. But anyway, she was a part of that horrible, horrible sex trafficking tribe that was really messing a lot of young girls' heads up and trafficking them to these very wealthy and rich people. But I want to say something. God said the other day, you know, in that prophetic word that I gave, and I'll put, you know, all of you seen, this is the very one of the last 2 videos I gave. So the word's in there. I mean, if you really want to go back and look at it, I'll put if I can remember, I'll put it in the description of the bottom of the box. For those of you that haven't seen this video that I'm talking about, it was just out 4 or 5 days ago. But for those of you who have not been on this channel, I'll put it in there. Or maybe for some of you that don't even remember me prophesying it, but that's why I sort of put that picture up so you could see what was written in the box below. That was descriptive. And on the dates and the times of these videos, you can't manipulate those, not on YouTube. Once you post it, it's posted in that date and time, and you cannot go back and you cannot back post these videos because YouTube does it. And that's what I am so happy about, is that when people do these, they can't manipulate those. So we're able to see God get the glory with something like that. Guys, there's a lot of prophetic things that's getting ready to happen. And we're going to have to be in tuned in this time and in this season. Listen, there's a lot of things that's being said, and we know that's bad things that's coming. But we also know there's a lot of good things that's coming. So don't listen to just all of the bad and then think, oh, well, what do we got to look forward to? Listen to me, that is just not that's not the attitude to have. The attitude is to be positive, uplifting, and to think what God is going to do. Look, he's overturning things in the courts. And that's one thing he is speaking to me in this hour, that he is going to start to overturn a multitude of things in the courts. And prophetically, I'll tell you, one of the things to be looking for in the school systems, where you're seeing these problems where the schools are trying to take control of the children. And it's from various different things. So I don't want to get off into all those subjects, but anyway, the parents have been standing up, and there's been various departments at the White House that has been sent. This is so sad. They're sending out FBI agents to arrest and to mess with the parents in these school systems, and they're sending out highway patrolmen, etc. Really, I mean, what in the world? I thought our FBI was about dealing with federal and big stuff, big criminals. But now you're going to come in and mess with parents. That's just outrage, because they're trying to control and do some horrible things with our children. And so the parents are standing up, and now you're going to send FBI agents. That is so uncalled for. That is so unneeded. So what I'm getting to, there's going to come some turnaround in the courts with some of this that's going on. And they're going to bring some things in. The Lord he's going to bring some things in the court systems that's going to rectify some laws, and it's going to protect the parents and the children from this horrible left agenda that's just went completely over the cliff and is just upside down. I mean, guys, it is more than understand. It's just demonic to the maximum. we the people need to stand up in the spirit and pray in our holy language, and we need to break through in the spirit, and we need to believe God for what he's going to do, what he said he'll do, and what he's about to do. He's about to bring some breakthroughs in the courts, and I'm telling you. Another thing that I can sense is that, and this is not a very, how do I say this? It's not a very famous thing to talk about, but it is talking about the election and all of the votes and all of that. And now they've had things to pass through Congress and etc. But I want you to listen. The Lord is going to raise up some men, and he's already got them raised up, but he's going to raise them up in the courts on the federal levels that is going to do the right things. And they are going to bring in some new evidence, and they are going to deal with some things concerning the actual election that we went through. I want you to hear me. God is not done with this nation. He is on the move. And listen, he's going to hit them where it counts. And it's on the federal level. And then he'll hit them on the state level as well. Listen, I'm telling you something. He's going to raise up men and pull them forward in this hour. I mean, this hour. He started and hit in a couple of areas already. I mean, even with this thing with this Jeffrey Epstein, this Ghislaine Maxwell, I want you to hear about this one. Okay, so the Lord prophesied, and he said that he was going to start to deal with that clan that the axe was going to start bringing forth. You know, it's going to start hitting at the root. Okay, so there, what was it, yesterday? In the courts, they give this one 20 years. Okay, a lot of you would say 20 years is nothing. It is when it's on a federal level, because in federal, you do all of the time. It means it'll make that woman, I think it's going to put her in her 80s. But listen to what I'm going to tell you. She's already, the people don't know this. I'm going to tell you prophetically. She's already sung. She's already sung a song to the feds. She's giving up some very important names already. You know, it may not be so well for her. And I don't think too many people are going to care in that area because of the innocent lives that's been destroyed. But however, there has been some very important names that's been given up. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about that prophetically. Those names that's been given, nothing will be done at this very moment. At this very moment. Those names have been given and they've been retained. But what's going to happen with that situation is that the people that has these names plan on not doing anything with them. But there is a group of people and some judges that are going to get these names on this list, and these are going to be passed over soon. And there's going to become a process that's going to start. And I want you to listen to me. Worldwide, I'm going to say it one more time. Worldwide, the sex trafficking ring that started with these people are going to be busted. You're going to hear it. It's going to start with one, and it's going to lead to another and another and another, and it's going to just fall all the way down. And I want to tell you something. When we said that the axe would be laid at the root, there will be nothing left of that group when this is all done and said. Peoples that thought that they were rich enough to pay off every Supreme Court judge or every high up judge and officials and people in Congress, to where they didn't think that they would ever be touched, you better think again, because I want to tell you something. There's some people out there with the heart of God that are going to turn this thing around in the courts. And those names will, yep, they'll be transferred over to the right hands of the right people in the right places. And you're going to see it happen. And this is God's way of showing you that He hasn't forgotten His promises to His people. And He is going to deal with some things. And I'm telling you, you know, they, I'm going to, let's see, I'm trying to think how to do this. So anyway, there was, back in January, and then it was the day, the 6th, and seeing I'm spreading my words out for algorithm reasons. They presently have in court our ex-president, and then they've got a lot of other people that is going in, and they've got people that's that they have locked up innocently, and they have had no justice to come in their place, and they've been locked up ever since. Yet there's people, and we're coming to find out that there was feds that was in plain clothes that was there that day that was provoking, supposedly, and I've heard this on several news channels, that was provoking some things, and yet they wouldn't even be answering the courts as to what they were doing there, supposedly. So there was a lot of people that didn't get arrested that should have been arrested. There was a lot of people that got arrested that shouldn't have been arrested. It's been a circus, and that's all there is to it. God is going to bring in justice over this situation. As I said to you earlier, it's all going to start at the federal level. You rest assured, it's already started. But when a particular party in the politics takes back their seats this year, I don't remember if it's September or November. I want to say it's November. But when they take their seats back, guys, they're going to have the devil dancing. And I mean, it's going to be like somebody with a pistol. And if you've seen these old Western movies, how they would shoot at the feet of people and have them dancing. They're going to have the devil a dancing. The Lord's going to have him almost standing on his hands and jumping around because he's not going to know what to do because there's going to be so much to happen and it's going to be quick. I want you to hear that. There's going to be some things that's going to be turned around in 24 hours. It's going to be a quick turnaround on some things. I didn't say everything, guys. Listen to me. We've got a battle we've got to go through, okay? But you are not to give up. You are to press in and you are to let God be God and don't let anyone or anything come in and give you all this negativity, like everything is just going to be bad. So what is the, what is the good in me trying to pray, or what is the good in me trying to think or wish or hope? Don't think like that. Don't think like that. I'm telling you, God is going to do it. He is still on the throne, people. And he's clearly showing us. He's giving us some outward signs. Even that Roe v. Wade that got turned around, let me tell you something, that was huge. That right there was like the Lord saying to us, I'm giving you a down payment to what I'm really getting ready to do. So if you think that Roe v. Wade was something, watch. That's just a small down payment of something that he's about to do big this year. He's about to make himself known up on the scenes, and he's about to put some people in their places. He is going to pull some people out of positions that didn't think that they were touchable. And he's going to arrest some people that didn't think that they were touchable. Yeah, we've heard video after video after video. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And nothing ever happened. It's just God's timing. Don't get in doubt. Don't put your head down and don't let it be that way. You have to put your faith in God. You have to believe him when he tells you he's going to do something. And believe me, he's promised and he will fulfill every single word that he has said that he will bring to pass. And I'm telling you, people, there is some things that's about to happen that's going to have you dancing for joy. And you're not going to look back and think nothing else but we serve an awesome God. Look how he has turned things around for his glory. That's the main thing you need to understand. There's about to come in a lot of things in this time and hour, and I want you to listen to me. Yes, the enemy is going to try to throw the kitchen sink and everything in the kitchen with it at us. I know this for a fact that he has not pulled out all of the stops that he's got. He's got a couple of aces in the hole, that he's been holding. But don't you ever forget, God's got all of the jokers, and he's going to trump. I'm going to say it again. He's going to trump the devil with all of these jokers, and he's going to be the last laugh on the devil with everything that's about to happen. Okay? But we have to be in prayer as a nation, and we can't give up. We've got to keep moving forward. This should be a message that should be uplifting, encouraging, and you should know that God is not. He is not going to give up on you, and he's not going to give up on me. And he sure as in the heck isn't going to allow us to just lay down and just be slaughtered like sheep going to the slaughter. He's not going to do that. We're his children. You think a real loving father would do that? No. Is there some judgment going to hit some places? Yes. But you keep moving forward. You keep doing what's right. You know, the one thing that I was seeing was there, you're going to start to see it even more so. You're seeing some of it now, but you're going to start to see it even more so. There's going to be several cities and states that's going, it's going to be plagues and etc. to break out, and it's not going to look good for these places very soon. And you're going to see people fleeing these states like the plague is there. And one of them is California. That's just an example. I mean, if you'll go and you'll dig up what I'm telling you right now, guys, there's a multitude of people that is leaving California. And this is, listen, it's this bad. It's so bad that they are going into Mexico to live. Now, can you imagine that? Going to Mexico to live? You know, things must be really, really bad when you've got to leave the United States and go to Mexico to get a break with your finances, to get a break, period. I want to tell you something. That should be the last thing that anyone should ever have to do. I was listening to a very, very good friend of mine yesterday, and was telling me that, and I didn't know this. Now, I prophesied about Silicon Valley. That's in California. And she was telling me that Silicon Valley has been moving a lot of their businesses out of California and into Texas. Oh man, I'm telling you something. See, they're moving out of a Democratic area and moving everything over into the red area because they have already polluted their own city and state so bad that now they can't even bear living in it. But yet you want to come into these other states and you want to do the same things. You know, you ever heard that old saying? You do the same. What's the definition of crazy? You do the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different outcome. You know, you can't keep thinking that you can live by these nasty, dirty, unfit laws that you brought in from Congress and etc., and then turn around and forced it on people. And then now you look around you and now everything's inflation. It's upside down. It's plaguish. People don't want anything to do with it, and they're running to the places that seem to be the safest. And then turn around and these same people run out of their own cities and states, and they run into these places and they're hoping that it's going to get better for them, but yet they want to still bring in their same agendas, their same beliefs, and their same laws, and think, hey, it's going to be okay. Oh my God, these people are just absolutely nuts to think that you can do that and think that you can go to a new state, take all that you've got, pack it up and go and carry all of your beliefs and your agendas and think that it's going to change. It's not going to change. Not as long as you live by the devil's rules. You see, these states where they're moving to, are living biblical. They have had biblical laws put in place, and they've been living by them. These standards and these morals that is correct, that's upright. They don't want to see their children being taught transgender things in school or even in kindergarten. I don't want no teachers teaching my children how, or my grandchildren, how to do sexual positions in kindergarten and first grade. Do you understand me? That's what's happening. How demonic can you be to bring something that filthy and something that horrible in? Why do you think Disney is falling and there's almost nothing left of it? Yet, but they think it's okay to keep pressing these issues. You know why? It's because they've made a covenant with the devil. And they're going to continue to do these things because they know that those covenants they made with the enemy, they have to keep it, or he's going to hit them. Well, they might as well go on ahead and change on over and do the right things, because whether the enemy hits them or not, I'm going to tell you this, what the wrath of God can do will be much worse than what any old devil can do. Remember that. God should be the last enemy that you should ever want upon this earth. There is so many out there criticizing God's prophets and etc. There's so many that just have come to a place of cursing themselves. And one of the, I could keep going on and on, guys, on the prophetic things, but I'll say one more and then I'll cut this off. In this last few days, now I want to say this to you. I have put up a video, maybe two, I don't know, talking about war in Europe. Okay, now we know that Ukraine and Russia and all of that's going on. But what I've told you is the enemy wants to fire Europe up in a bad way. 2 days ago, I was sitting and had been in prayer, and I looked up and I had seen literally into the enemy's camp. And I seen the enemy. He was steaming mad with these demons and these principalities and all of these that are under him. And I seen him screaming at them. He said, do everything you can do to press World War III. He says, I need blood. He said, I am demanding blood in this hour. He says, press it, press it, press it. Press World War III. And he kept talking about Europe. This is the place where it's supposed to start. This is the place where he wants to do some damage. And I'm telling you guys, we've got to pray, because I seen huge weapons and huge ammo. And I seen it being loaded up on ships, on tankers. And I seen almost all of Europe in World War III. Trust me, it's not just Europe that will be involved, but Europe will be the battlefield. And guys, it ain't going to be a very pretty thing if we don't pray. You've got to pray. You've got to pray, because this is an hour where it is getting dire. You know, we've had this thing with Ukraine, and I've got lots of opinions, and I don't want to turn all my opinions out on that. But I tell you what, it is not good. You know, look at what's going on. You're about to see a food shortage that you've never seen as long as you've lived on planet Earth. And I am talking about, you know, there's a lot of us in generations here. There's, you know, several generations living. Even in my generation, we haven't seen a food shortage. Even in the generation before me, I don't think they've seen food shortage, but the one before them did. Not like the likes of what is coming. And we've got to be on our toes, and we've got to be praying. Okay. Now listen, it's about to get very bad, and it's about to get heated up, guys. Okay, so I can only tell you, get yourself in position and get prepared. You know, I'm not going to tell you to invest in the stock market, because I made a whole video on that a while back and told you. I don't know when that was, a month or whenever we do. Let me say it this way. It was right. It was like a week or two, right when Bitcoin and all these others fell, and the market just went down completely, and trillions, I think it's what they said, trillions, if not, it was way up in the billions, but I think it was trillions of dollars was lost. The Lord had told me to make that video and said, tell the people that China is going to interfere with the US market, and said they're going to cause it to drop almost to nothing. It's going to do this several times. And lots of people have lost everything over that. Okay. So I'll give you some personal advice, but I'm not a financial advisor, never have been. If it was me, I would invest in some tangible gold and silver. Okay. I don't know if that'll help someone today, but that's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to have to do your studying on that. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take this as financial advice. Just take it as something that I feel spiritually to tell you that the markets are going to a direction that they're so out of control, and will get so out of control that no one will be able to determine what to do. You need to get yourself invested in something that's going to hold up, because the mighty dollar in the United States very soon is not going to hold its value no more. And if you don't have your monies invested in something wise that's going to hold value, you're going to find yourself in trouble. Okay? Listen, don't go getting yourself anxious and upset. The Bible says don't be anxious for nothing, but pray about everything. Again, I told you, he's not going to let you fall, but he's given good advice to a lot of people here. Okay? God, I love each and every one of you. I love my subscribers, and I hope that you're doing well. Keep your heads up, keep your chin up, and keep going forward, because God has got great things in store for you. Amen. This is Brother Auty Howard with Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries. We will be talking to you soon. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do so. There's going to be a lot of prophetic things coming. We've also got monthly feast teachings, etc., that's going to be coming about. Get ready, because this ministry is going through the ceiling. It's exploding because God has caused that. Okay? So you don't want to miss any prophetic updates. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Give it a like if you like it. Okay? Show your support if you're one of these subscribers. Give God the glory. That's what it's about. It's giving God glory. When you do that, you're saying amen. Okay? When I subscribe to something, I say, God, that's a big amen. You see, you're showing your support. Okay? God bless you guys. Take good care of yourself, and we'll be talking to you soon on the next video. Bye-bye.